All right, guys, what's going on? It's Jack, and welcome back to another video. And in this video, I kind of want to do a 2-for-1. I want to kill two stones with one bird, or two birds with one stone, depending on how you look at it, because I have a comedic way of twisting things around and turning them around. But with that being said, I want to talk about future game modes with XDefiant, ones that are, there's one in particular that's rumored to be coming, and we know that there's one coming up. But at the same time, the community has also been very vocal in different forms of social media to where they've been kind of whispering and letting the creators know, whether it's on Twitter or X, or whether it's in comment section, or whether it's in other YouTube videos or whatnot, comment sections, etc., or even other creators mentioning a few things. I want that to be a source to where you can actually give some of your ideas down in the comment section, as well as possibly letting the devs know, because devs, we know now, they watch videos, whether it's a big small content creator or a small one like me. They will watch videos, and upon just listening to the videos, they're also going to be scrolling down into the comment section, because me, I'm only one person, right? So you guys can give your thoughts down below. Now, with that being said, I also chose this gameplay here because it's kind of funny, because almost everybody on the other team was using Spiderbot, and at the same time they were playing the OBJ hard, and me and another guy that were slaying really well. We still almost lost this game, which just goes to show just how important objective-based gameplay is, which is something that I'm going to be getting into as well in this video, because there's something that you guys have also told me in the comment section, and I want that to be heard in case a developer hears this or sees this. So with that being said, we know at this point, right? We know the game modes that we got at launch. 4 weeks after launch, we got Team Deathmatch. In Season 1, we got Capture the Flag. We know Bomb, also known as Search and Destroy, is coming, right? And it's something that they've moved up on their priority list because the community has been very vocal about it. They've been requesting it for so long. And at the same time, it is good for competitive, not just pubs, right? So there's no reason not to bring that in, right? Okay, now there's been kind of rumors that there's one game mode coming out aimed specifically for solo players, and that's free for all. If that is true, now remember, you have to take it for a grain of salt. If this is true, then I would have to say that I am just very happy about this. I know a lot of solo players that enjoy free-for-all are going to migrate over there. And, not every solo player enjoys playing free-for-all, but I think a decent percentage of us are going to be there. And I think it's going to be relatively decently competitive. You know what I mean? I mean, granted, there's also noobs that enjoy free-for-all. I always did before I understood how to play first-person shooters a little bit better. So I can't wait. If that is true, I can't wait. But I think it's going to be coming after Bomb. I don't think it's going to be coming before Bomb. The only way I see it coming before Bomb is if it was something that they were already working on before Bomb. But like I said, the devs have pretty much confirmed that they've moved it up on their priority list. Now, how high up have they moved it up? I would say it's pretty high up there. So it might take priority over free-for-all, especially since Search and Destroy, when you look at Call of Duty, for instance, is a more popular game mode than free-for-all is. I know this because I always paid attention to the player count when they provided it to us in Black Ops 2 and in the other games as well. So I know this very, very well. So I think Bomb should come first because more people want it. Simple as that. Now, with that being said, there's also a few things that you guys, whether it's in my comment section, whether it's on Twitter or X or other YouTube videos or whatever it is, there's been the XDefiant community that is also full of a decent amount of COD refugees that have been requesting specific type of game modes for this game. Now, one of the things that stands out are party game modes, right? A lot of you have basically said that you would love to see party game modes. Like a gun game could be very interesting. And if they actually make it to where your abilities might actually play a role in the game in some way, shape, or form with a twist, I think that could be kind of interesting. But at the same time, even if they were to keep it traditional and they were to add in gun game, the way we all know it, get a kill, get a different gun you have to use, blah, 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 until you get to, gun number 20 or whatever it is. And then it's done, right? First person to reach a certain, and the funny thing about this is that gun game is not a, what's it called? It's not a team-based game. But can you imagine if XDefiant actually made it a team-based game? I wonder if people would actually love that, to where it's like you've got team gun game. Think about that for a second. I just thought of that too. The beauty of not scripting your commentaries. Holy crap. Now, moving on to another one, a lot of players really, I would say that the Call of Duty community, I would say maybe 20% of them are hardcore players. And what I mean by that is they like to play hardcore game modes. So in other words, You get hit by one bullet, you're dead, right? No minimap, and it's just you and your gun, and that's it, right? And there's different game modes for hardcore, whatnot. So if they were to have some sort of hardcore mosh pit or, or something of that nature with this game, I think a lot of players would really like that, because not everybody enjoys the time to kill in this game. So to have a place for them as well, I think would be something that they could definitely take advantage of. And I think a lot of players would enjoy that quite a bit. To a lot of players, getting a kill with just one shot is very satisfying to them. And no mini map or whatnot, again, very satisfying to them. So I think that would be very interesting. Obviously, they would have to probably come up with a different name for it, but that is something that has been on people's minds. Now, there is one more thing that people have been requesting as far as game modes, from what I've seen online at least, and it's slipping my mind right now. Let's see. I talked about hardcore. I talked about party games, but there's obviously a one in the chamber would be really nice, especially since the Echelons Ultra is pretty much that. But take the walls away and just have that gun. I think a lot of people really love one in the chamber. But regardless of which, one thing that I think the devs need to implement, which you guys have also been telling me, is rewarding objective-based gameplay in the form of not just XP, but weapon XP as well. And even to take it further, in the form of challenges, additional challenges, especially when Prestige comes out, as well as camos. Imagine objective-based gameplay having their own specific camos to reward players for taking the objective, right? And especially if they're using one specific type of gun while taking those objectives, I think that would be a really great idea. And at the same time, when you release Prestige, it will incentivize and amplify the dopamine that you would get from leveling up from prestiging, right? Because especially if it's going to be a long prestige, and I think that's something that they need to do that's very important, because there needs to be a lot of meat on the bone, so to speak. You can't just give us a level up system. You gotta also give us a reason to level up beyond just leveling up, right? So all of a sudden, if you're taking these objectives and you're getting rewarded in the forms of camos, calling cards, and maybe even some, cosmetics here and there that, are not on the battle pass, that are specifically tied to those objective-based game modes, I think the community would really appreciate that. And as creators and devs, I don't see this as anything being too difficult, and they can easily come up with objective challenges that people can take. And we're not just talking about your traditional ones like you've seen in Call of Duty, but we're talking like way beyond that. I mean, imagine going on an objective streak, and we're not talking about killing people on the objective. Well, not just that, but we're talking like, imagine being able to take such and such objective without dying. Like, let's say you take three flags in a row without dying, while taking the objective or whatnot, right? And then at the same time, you're also getting rewarded for getting kills and all this other stuff. So like, the game will be that much more addictive to play. And I think a lot of players, whether they're slayers or whether they're objective-based game modes, I think they'll both appreciate it. And you also increase the chances of your slayers playing the objective, especially when there's a reward like that, to go for it, as well as maybe even objective-based players also incentivizing them to also, slay out when needed, because there are objective-based game players that literally don't care if they don't get a kill. They just want to take the objective and they want to get the win. And for them, that is all they care about, right? So there are players like that, which is a pleasantry, to be honest. So with that being said, I want you guys to tell me down below in this video with your ideas, and with that, there's a chance that a dev might see this. I want you to tell me, what types of future game modes, whether they're traditional or not, what would you like to see in XDefiant coming up in the future? Because honestly, XDefiant is a hybrid shooter. So therefore, it doesn't have to be limited to just an arcade shooter like Call of Duty to where you can get your inspiration from. You can get your inspiration from Overwatch. You can get your inspiration from Rainbow Six Siege, believe it or not, even so. You know what I mean? So I don't see why not. So let her rip, man. I would really love to hear what your guys' imagination comes up with, and I'm pretty sure you guys are going to come up with some really cool stuff. So with that being said, I hope a dev sees this, so that way maybe we can get something like that in the future, as well as the ideas that I've proposed in this video on rewarding players in a multitude of ways for taking the OBJ and simultaneously incentivizing those slayers to take the OBJ more than they normally would. So with that being said, guys, that's pretty much all I got for this one. And as always, I like to thank everybody for taking the time to watch and or listen. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.